Welcome to the Art of Dialogue. Thank you for coming. We have a very special guest today by the name of, you know what? I'm not going to introduce you. I'm going to let you introduce yourself to the world. A very hard guy to interview and get in touch with. It's my pleasure to have you here. Introduce yourself to
My
the world.
name is William Garland. I'm the biological father of Tupac Shakur.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate you.
It's my pleasure to be here, brother.
So we're going to get right into it. And you know, so recently you were involved with the Dear Mama docuseries. How did you become involved with that project?
Alan Hughes asked me to do an interview. He didn't tell me it was about Dear Mama. He didn't tell me too much of anything except that it was about Tupac. And after some persuasion, because I denied him that interview. I didn't want to do no interviews because every time I did an interview, it was always taken out of light. Everything that I said was taken out of context. So I was very reluctant. But he persuaded me and I did it. We did an interview about 2 hours. After I saw the interview in the movie or the documentary, I was slightly disappointed. Let's just say that.
So do you feel like they took your interview out of context or projected you in a certain light that you didn't agree with?
More so than anything that I could have ever conceived. I didn't like it, to be honest with you. I thought it was more about something else than about Tupac, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
If I knew it was about Dear Mama, I might have still did it, but I probably wouldn't have, not for nothing.
So basically what you're saying is he did not tell you that it was going to be about Afeni Shakur?
Not at all. And that the foundation wasn't in charge and behind it.
Okay. Wow. So overall, Alan Hughes, in dealing with him, Alan Hughes called Tupac a delusional myth maker. This was prior to the documentary coming out in an interview. And he compared Snoop to Tupac and saying that Snoop was gangster and somehow Tupac wasn't. But to the contrary, when Snoop inducted Tupac into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Snoop said Tupac was a revolutionary and more so than anything, he was gangster. So it kind of went against what Alan Hughes was trying to say. If you had heard that Alan Hughes had called Tupac a delusional myth maker, do you think that you would have still done the documentary?
Definitely not.
Okay.
And watching the documentary, one of the first questions I believe he asked, which kind of broke my heart, was, do you believe Tupac was bipolar? I resented that based on the fact that here was a kid that came up with nothing. He had absolutely nothing. He had some success. He had that success taken away from him when he went to jail on them flimsy false charges. To be shot once 5 times by Black people, to be shot again 4 times later on in Vegas by, we're not too sure, but we believe Black people were involved with other people. Bipolar doesn't fit. How can you be bipolar when people do things to you that make you or changes the way that you believe in them? He believed in Black people. He loved Black people. He would do anything for Black people. And then to have that betrayal, to have people talk about him, call him a rapist, to have him say things that were truly unbelievable. And it hurt him. He couldn't believe that he was betrayed that way. He couldn't believe that people saw him in that light. So he would flare up. He would have his mood change, but who wouldn't? Imagine any human being going through those degrees of emotion. I think you would get different degrees of reactions, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
You know, it's just that way. He was hurt. In prison, he told me he was hurt.